Hello, welcome to a special edition of Plat Chat with Custa and Reinforce, and we are going to be talking about the San Francisco Shock today. They were the winners of the 2019 season, an incredible team that was head and shoulders above everybody else by the end of it, and also like right from the halfway point of the season, they were just better than everyone else.
Yeah, I mean the golden stage 2.
So just put them in a...
Just incredible.
I mean, genuinely, yeah.
Let's just start out.
Let's just start the episode off by writing them in at the number one spot.
Yeah, so, arrow.
Let's have a look at the...
actually, we got to decide the record. So, yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I mean, it would be hard for them to do better than they did last season.
Yeah.
They could still win whilst going down. They could be under their wins and still win because they had such an
actually
incredible
think
record.
that is going to happen because I think that the travel and especially the Chinese homestands is going to just throw them off their balance just ever so slightly, and they're going to stumble and rack up a few more losses than they did last season, especially because they were so dominant last season.
It was inhuman, the dominance that they had last season. I really thought when we watched 2018 NYXL that there would never be another team in Overwatch League that would dominate the field so much, because I just assumed the other teams would get good enough to be able to challenge even the best team.
Yeah.
And at times last year there was nobody that could challenge Shock at all.
Yeah, San Francisco, they won Esports Team of the Year by ESPN.
Oh, did they actually?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that they were
obviously they recognized that Shock were so incredibly dominant, especially during the grand finals, that there was just nothing like it in esports. So.
Well, let's take a look at the roster because it really hasn't changed at all. The only person that has changed is that Nevix has left the team, which was not because he was bad, as far as I know. From talking to like Andy Miller and Brett, they just thought that he was too good to never see any playtime.
Yeah, to sit on the bench. And he's never going to play over Choi. Like, Choi is just incredible. So
And what they've given up is essentially their ability to do these like internal 6-man scrims, but they can just find people. Like they used to do their internal scrims with Sleepy and somebody else anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, they still only have 2 sports right now. So
yes, yeah. They've still got 4 DPS, which is, I think, a good way of doing it. And then they've got...
So, I don't think we need to talk too long about the roster, but the biggest changes are actually in the coaching staff. No? Because you have
that is a very good
9K
point,
going to Paris Eternal.
Yeah, but that's essentially the only thing, right?
Well, never mind then.
Like,
I thought Junkbuck left as well.
No, Junkbuck is still with them. So I thought that they would lose both 9K and Junkbuck this year.
Yeah.
And so it would make it a lot more attainable for other teams to be able to catch them. Only 9K is left. I think that it doesn't make a difference. I mean, as much as Krusty would always give credit to 9K and Junkbuck, and I think they all had kind of separate roles within the team, I don't really see it making that. Like, was it really 3 perfect people that came together? I think probably that they like all 3 of them were very good, but they probably only need 2 or maybe even 1 plus some filler replacements.
Yeah. I think San Francisco Shock has the potential to form a dynasty like so many major other like traditional sports teams. Like this could be like I don't know if the Patriots would be the best comparison. I think more something like the San Antonio Spurs in like when they had a big run, almost won like 5 championship in the span of like 5 years. I think this is a start of something a lot bigger than just one win, one season.
I can agree. As long as these players remain relevant and they keep, making smart decisions, I think they'll be fine. Because
do you not think that with the changes to Atlanta, NYXL, Shanghai, these teams will actually start contesting the San Francisco Shock? Like you still need to win in order to form a dynasty. Otherwise, the NYXL would be the most winningest team of all time. Like they dominated the regular season and then come in and do very well. Shock actually still need to win.
I mean, the greatest threat to San Francisco Shock this year, in my opinion, is do the bench DPS players get antsy about playtime?
Yeah, I agree. That's what I was looking at as well. Is like they, throughout the entire most of the last season, Striker and Architect didn't play, and they're both very good DPS players to just sit on a bench.
Yeah,
dude, didn't one of them just stream with the title just like depressed?
Striker.
Yeah,
yes,
just like.
But as far
I can't remember what it was, but it's something like depressed bench boy or something.
I think it was permanent bench boy.
Yeah, permanent bench boy.
And that's going to seep in when you're a player of Striker's level. Then it sucks to sit on a bench. Obviously, it's great to be part of a winning team, but
don't you think they've countered it somewhat by proving that they actually do change their DPS around? Like they didn't sit anybody on the bench for the whole of last year, apart from Nevix. And Nevix they allowed to leave. So if I'm Striker and I get sat for the first half of the year next year, I'm just thinking to myself, well, They eventually found a use for me last year. They'll find a use for me again. I'll end up going on the stage and I'll win with them.
Also, one really good change for the San Francisco Shock is actually the removal of the stages, because now there is not pressure on you to win out every stage all the time, always win your game. Now if I'm Coach Krusty, I can say, well, we're playing against the Chengdu Hunters. Maybe I'm comfortable subbing out Sinatra for, I don't know, Striker, just to get Striker in and get some play time. And I don't feel as pressured to win all the time and set records or get my stage seeding or whatever. So that's actually a huge change that benefits the San Francisco Shock, and it's going to reward their entire roster in the end.
Especially if you think about like Shock, I assume the season is lasting. As long as they finish top 6, it doesn't matter. You can finish first or sixth. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So they are allowed to drop maps and matches. So I think they'd be more than comfortable doing it. I don't think they would drop many matches because they're playing like a certain player. But
okay, so this roster was certainly the team to beat coming into 2020. Yeah. Do we think they're going to do better or worse? What was their record?
Their record
must have been unbelievable.
23-5.
23-5. Over the course of next year, I think they drop 5 games. I'm going to go under. I think it's under. I think they're still odds-on favorite to take next season, but I think now that the NYXL has a different look that could potentially challenge them.
I mean, they're in a different division, but
Well, a different division, but that doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Over. I think
over. You think they're going to do better than that?
No, I think teams like Charge, Spark, Atlanta. No.
Yeah, I mean Atlanta.
Yeah, Shanghai. I mean, I feel like they could get a few.
5 matches. They got to lose 5. Remember, like they dropped stupid matches. Shock dropped some pretty stupid matches. They lost like 2 matches in stage 1. They lost one to Houston.
Yeah, they lost to NYXL and the Titans in stage 1. You know, the other 2 top teams before the Shock had really started getting going. Then they lost to Houston later on. They lost to what was it, like the Valiant? I think you guys.
No,
beat
we
them
never beat Shock. We beat Vancouver.
Oh, you beat Vancouver. Yeah, that's right.
I actually can't see them go under.
Really?
I can't. I don't think they're going to lose.
I think they have the perfect team almost.
Yeah.
Like I
don't think they have the perfect roster.
No,
I think they don't have the best roster on paper.
Like,
I think their system is incredible, but I don't think they have the best roster on paper.
I think system is going to matter more than individual talent.
Yeah,
because I think it's going to be hard to keep.
I agree, but you're really saying that a dominant performance last year is going to be done again, but better in 2020.
It's going to be a dynasty. I think they're not going to drop as many stupid matches.
That is wild to me. You literally said there is no stages, so they don't feel pressure. They can sub in new people, and then you're saying that they're still going to win them anyway.
Is Krusty willing to drop matches because he wants to give other people playtime? Like that's still a theoretical thing.
Yeah. I think it's incredibly hard because while I think San Francisco doesn't have the pressure to get as many wins, it's just they're so dominant. And there's so many teams that are like 5 to 10 that are so much like up in the air.
I will say this. We only have 8 teams in the league going worse than their record. Right? And so in order to balance it out, they either need to do a lot worse or more likely there are still other teams that we're kind of overrating in terms of their record improving. Well, I think Shock is one of them. Like I think Shock, I would definitely take the under on that. In fact, I'll make a bet with you right now. If
you've defeated me with logic.
Yeah, I'm having to go under as well. I don't know.
All right, okay. Well, but
let it be known, I almost went for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there you go.
But that's wild, okay? This is wild. Because let me just give context. You think that San Francisco at 23-5 will go under, but you think New York at 22-6 will go up.
I think you're wrong.
I will say, I don't think I said that NYXL would go up. I think that was both of you.
You can't just... I think the argument is it's like they're going to go around the same. I think they're going to place around 23 wins. I think 23 wins is a very good place to put them.
I mean, maybe NYXL will go down as well.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
New York has the easier division.
True.
By almost a lot.
Yeah, by quite a lot. Anyway, it doesn't really matter that much, but we still feel fairly confident incredibly confident about that San Francisco Shock. What would it take for them to either implode, be worse, not make playoffs, something catastrophic. Like, what would have to happen?
I think
Sinatra takes his girlfriend, gets married, and moves to Hawaii. That's about it, fam.
No, I think if the team's going to fail, it will be in their tank line or their support line.
Right.
I think something can go wrong, but they're both still so... Like, I think maybe their main tank, like Super...
Yeah, Super and Smurf seems like on paper the weakest portion
part
of their team. Yeah. But even so, they're very good players.
I don't even.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that they would both fail.
Weakness.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
yep. I think it would have to be some internal strife from the bench players.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think their system is too good for it. Well, there you go. The San Francisco Shock are going to win Overwatch League 2020. Don't even bother tuning in. Just take it as gospel. When we come back, our next episode will be about the Vancouver Titans. And we only have one spot on the board left.
And it's not going to be number 3.
He's not going to be
They're not going to be a number 3.